Welcome to Riverview Farmstead. We're inside the biggest barn that was built in Wheatland Township in the 1890s. Why did it have to be so big? There's a lot of work that goes into farming. You have to store things like tractors inside. You have animals, pigs, cows, and horses. But what we're going to talk about today, cows. Why are cows so important to farmers like the Clow family? Well, they provide all kinds of things. They're delicious dairy to drink, milk and cream. You can add it for baking, and you can turn that dairy into things like butter and into really cool cheeses and things.
At that time, in the 1860s, the Clows made about 200 pounds of butter. Can you imagine making that much butter? 20 years later, they produced a whopping 2,330 pounds.
They would send it off into other places. Big towns like Joliet and Chicago needed dairy, and the people didn't have their cow in their backyard in the middle of the city, so they relied on farmers like the Clows to provide it. They would have these big crocks. They looked like these big vases with a stick inside, and they could churn it that way, pounding up and down. But you can do something similar at home. All you need is just a few simple supplies. Some dairy. You want heavy cream, heavy whipping cream. It's the same stuff that you would use to make Cool Whip or whipping cream. And you're also going to need a jar. I like a jar like this that has a lid that's really, really tight. You can use other jars too, but if the lid is loose, you're gonna make a mess. In the jar, you're just gonna pour a little bit of cream. That's probably a lot, but it'll still work. And now all you have to do is shake. You go, shake, shake, shake the cream, make the butter. It helps if you go in that kind of rhythm, because if you're going that way, we're actually creating the cream. How does it happen? Well, it's simple. All you're gonna do is inside the cream, it's not just liquid. It's something called a suspension, where you have solids and liquids combined. So the solids that are hanging out in the liquid, in the cream, are fat globules. It's basically like this big little water balloon of fat that's hanging out in the cream. And when you smash it together like this, you're smashing them into each other, and you're starting to create the busting the walls of those little fat molecules. When you bust the walls, the fat inside bursts out, and you start to get your butter. Now, it's not going to happen instantly. It's going to take a few minutes of hard work, but you have those muscles, so put them to work. You're going to start to get something that looks a little bit like this. So it's starting to come together. It looks thicker, right? Delicious, but it's not fully there yet. It's a soft spread, and you can use it if you want. But to make it true butter, you're going to keep shaking past that point and keep going until true butter starts to form. You notice when you do this, though, that you have two substances in there now. You've got your butter, and you've got a little bit of liquid off on the side. That liquid is called buttermilk. Have you ever heard of buttermilk pancakes? Buttermilk is delicious and tangy and wonderful for baking, so don't forget to save the buttermilk. Pour it off to the side. Oops. So this is your buttermilk, and here you have all the fat molecules that have busted up and created your butter. Don't forget to add a little bit of salt to it. Today we just do it for taste because it's delicious, but in the past, the Clows and other people, in a time before refrigeration, would use a little bit of extra salt to help preserve the butter. And in fact, that's the whole point of butter. You're preserving something that can go bad quickly, like milk and cream, and you're allowing it to last a lot longer. So good luck and happy eating.